because the only difference between franchising and networking really is that with franchising you're going for a one-time hit, big lump sum of money, and getting money off them every month. Well, quite frankly, honestly, the way we'll talk about it this afternoon, if you're giving them very little, but that's neither here nor there. Yesterday, right at the beginning of the day, we spoke about it's not just about how much money you make, it's also about how much money you save, which will become relevant in a minute. And also, we spoke about numbers, 0800 numbers, this, that, the other. All of those tie into what my colleague's going to talk to you about. So please welcome, not just with an interesting opportunity, but more importantly, a way of saving your money so you can get some money at the end of the month so you can start investing in the things we spoke about to start making yourself even more money. Please welcome Mr. Tony Griffiths.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that introduction, and it's great to be here and an opportunity to speak to you today. What I'm going to show you today is a standard presentation that we do. It's known as a career opportunity presentation, and we present these at about 40 different locations throughout the country on a regular basis. I personally do a presentation in North Shropshire near Oswestry, and I also do a presentation in Liverpool, but we also do them in Salford, Preston, all over the country. So I haven't altered this presentation too much, so you're going to see the absolute bog standard presentation. Okay, the presentation will last for around about an hour. What I would ask you is, as we go through the presentation, if you could hang on to your questions, and then at the end of the presentation I'd be delighted to answer any questions that you've got as we go through it. The presentation will be kind of in three parts. The first part will tell you a little bit about the company. The second part will tell you about the services that we offer. And then the third part, which I think personally is the most interesting, is about the business opportunity and how you can make money out of the business. And I kind of get the impression, just from the short time I've been sat here this morning, that what you're all here for is to learn how to make money. Would I be right? Yeah? So I'm in the right room? Yep. This is yes, this is no, this is, I don't know. Yep. Wonderful. Excellent. Okay, so let's start off then with welcome to the utility warehouse, where it pays to be a member. So we're going to look first of all at what are the advantages of being a member of the utility warehouse, in other words, being a customer of the company. Okay, so ask the question to start off with. Have you joined Britain's fastest growing discount club? Because that's what this is. We have over 200,000 members, and it's growing daily. And those 200,000 members use over 500,000 services. The Utility Warehouse Discount Club is operated by Telecom Plus PLC. So it's a publicly listed company, and it's listed on the stock exchange, okay, which is the world's premier financial institution. And later on, if any of you want to, you can have a look in this business section of the Telegraph. You can look at it any day, and you can see our shares quoted on the stock exchange. So it's an open book, because it's a PLC, it has an open book policy, so you can go on and you can check it out, you can do your due diligence on it, you can check out the latest set of accounts, and I'll be showing you a little bit about that later on. The company is actually based in London, with our call centre based in London, just near the bottom of the M1. And we are, in fact, the only referral marketing company in the UK which is licensed for the provision of energy through Ofgem. And I'll talk a little bit about what a referral marketing company is. You may well have already spoken about it, I don't know. A little bit. Okay. So, if you're joining any company, you want to know about our business partners. Well, down at the bottom there is Richard Haitley, who's our financial director. He's had an extensive commercial experience and an infrastructure in finance is his background. But the guy up there on the top, the Honourable Charles Wigener, he is our CEO. He's the guy who actually set up the company, and Charles is actually a visionary. He really is. He started off life as an accountant. He was the chief financial officer with Carlton Communication. He saw an opportunity in the market and actually set up a company, some of you will remember it, called the People's Phone. and the People's Phone was the first mobile phone outlet on the high street. You perhaps remember them, they had a sort of blue and white logo. The company did so well, it bit so hard onto Vodafone's backside that Vodafone bought him out. Charles had no option on that because he wasn't, at the time, the majority shareholder in the company. He made 80 million out of it, and with that 80 million, 10 years ago, he bought what was a concept company at the time, Telecom Plus PLC, and he has turned it into what it is today. And as a company, we're growing. You can see here steady growth and consistent growth. From year one, Charles has taken this company into profit, and our turnover this year is going to be around about £200 million. As a company, interestingly enough, we have no debt. Our headquarters in London, we own. We have something like £20 million cash at bank. And for a company in this market, that gives us great flexibility to move very quick to be the best on the market with the services that we offer. You'd expect me perhaps to stand up here and say, we are the best company in the country. And we are. And we know that because third-party people write about us on a regular basis. This is one of the articles that we had written about us last year. European Business Magazine did a survey of the top 100 performing companies across Europe. Now, as a company, we'd have been really pleased to get in the top 100. We'd have been delighted to be in the top 50. In fact, we came out top with something like a 72% return on investment. And I don't know whether, Beth, have you given out some of this information to people in your bank?
Not this particular.
Okay, if anybody wants to see this article, see me later and I can actually show you the article. But this is part of a pattern that's been developing. And in business, it's always good to look at patterns. And in the year 2000, Telecom Plus, as it was then, was voted the opportunity of the millennium by the City. In 2003, every year, the Independent magazine does a survey of the top performing companies in Britain. And we actually came out third, and I actually have a copy of that article here, if anybody wants to have a look at it later on. It's called the Indie 100. And again, here's Charles. And it's quite interesting because you can see the development in the company and how it's grown. And then in the year, last year, we were voted the top performing company in Europe. So this is a pattern that's coming on and demonstrating itself. We also have lots and lots written about us. And this is just an article from the Daily Mail last year, where we were voted the best company for the provision of telephone, line rental and customer service. And this was taken actually from a Which survey. We appear in Which regularly as having award-winning customer service. And that's important because we want to be able to provide our customers with the best possible service we can. So we've got great credibility, and indeed, I've got a copy of that article here, if anybody would like to have a look at it later on. Okay, so let's have a little look at what our service portfolio is, and have a look at what we can provide to our members. First of all, our home phone service. This is where we started. This was our basic service. And you can see here that we major on certain things, and one of them is giving written guarantees. Because people like written guarantees. They like to know that what we're saying we will do, we know we can actually provide for them, and we back it up with a written guarantee. So you can see here, we guarantee to save money compared to BT's best prices, or the customer's whole bill is free. Now, if you're interested, about 70% of the country still use BT. So we can save 70% of the country unequivocally on their phone costs. Okay? In fact, you'll find that we can actually save the other 30% money also. Not quite as much, because obviously people have made the decision already to save money and change to other providers, but we can also save not only people who use a standard line, but also we're the only company who can actually save people who use cable as well. So we can offer our services both to standard line and to cable customers. So that's 100% in line. So what are the benefits? Well, free calls 24/7 anywhere in the UK to other home phone customers. And this is for people who just take our phone service. You'll see later on that there is additional benefits for people who take our other services. Massive savings when you call non-members. This is another theme that actually flows through what we offer. No contract. Okay? Virtually all our services have no minimum contract option. So people can just try the service, see how much they save. If they don't like it, they can go back to paying more with BT, or they can go back to paying more with the other providers. But no contract. And fantastic savings on line rentals, so people can actually bid goodbye to BT forever, which is really important. Okay, on our other membership benefits, our mobile phone service, we have 2 tariffs. Now, in the mobile world, people operate on a basis of confusion marketing. You know, if we got one of the Sunday papers today and had a look at it, and you had a look at all the different mobile phone tariffs that are on offer, you could sit all day with a calculator and be pondering to see what you're actually going to save. We've reduced the market to 2 very, very simple tariffs. Our value call, which is up to 80% cheaper than other network tariffs, where all our calls are just 8 pence per minute, doesn't matter where you call to. And club call, which has line rental from just £5 a month. Now, 95% of our customers go onto this. A few left. There's only about 5% use club call because this is such a cracking tariff. Now, what else do we do? Well, we offer a massive range of free handsets. There's no vouchers to buy, and we have a call control system. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, believe it or not, and I found this out about a week ago, that more people in this country are actually on pay-as-you-go as they're on contracts. And when you actually speak to them and ask them why they're on pay-as-you-go, you'll find that the most common reason that they quote is that they don't want to be not in control of what their spend is. Okay? And they believe that by having pay-as-you-go, you're not in a contract, therefore you're in control of your spending. But bizarrely enough, I quite often meet people who are on pay-as-you-go who put as much as £700 a month in their phone. And you might think that's extravagant, but I met a girl the other day and she regularly puts around £700 in her phone, which is crazy. Because, you know, on pay-as-you-go, you're paying much, much more for your calls. My next door neighbour got phones for his children, gave his children phones, and they ran up bills, 300-400 quid. They were teenagers, they'd just fallen in love and they wanted to phone up their newfound love every day, send them texts every day. So straight away he put them on a call control system, reduced the bills from £400 to just £40 a month. Because he simply said, right, you can spend £40 a month, when that's gone you can receive incoming calls or you can make emergency calls only. So that's a great benefit for people who want to be able to control their system. And again, here we have a no minimum contract option. So somebody can take a SIM card from us, free, they can try it just for a month to see how much they save with our service. Now, I challenge any of you to walk into any of the high street stores, Phones for You, the car phone warehouse, and actually say, can I just try your service for a month? Because, to be honest, they'll laugh you out of the shop. We also supply the next generation of mobile communications. These things, Blackberries, this is quite an old one. But we also do the BlackBerry Pearl as well, which is the latest on the market. And the great thing about these is for business people, which I presume you all are, for business people, these allow you to turn non-profitable time into profitable time. If you're out and about during the day, as I am, I don't have to wait until I get home to respond to all my emails, okay? Because my emails arrive here on my BlackBerry. I don't have to go and get them, they just arrive here. So, for example, I work as an Open University tutor. My students need to keep in touch with me, and I need to be able to respond to them very quickly. If I'm working away from home, as I do, they don't have to wait 3 or 4 days until I get home, because the email arrives on here and I can respond to it straight away. I also get email from my utility warehouse business. So the company sends me leads, I can pick up the lead, and straight away be onto the business or to the customer, following up instantly with their requirement. Now, so if you're in a business where you use email a lot, this is an absolutely invaluable device. Of course, it is a mobile phone. It's also I keep all my contacts on it. It's a personal information manager. Plus, you can browse the internet anywhere, anytime, and it works in 64 different countries. So it's quite nice when I was in Spain last year.
Which means you can send your PayPal money to the bank wherever you are in the world on holiday.
Indeed. Well, it was very nice to be able to sit by my pool, sipping a gin and tonic, to be able to respond to my distributors and my team. I was actually talking to Beth. She was at home, and I could talk to her online at the same time using the device. So BlackBerry's a pretty cool bit of equipment. Okay, we also, as I suggested before, that we're the only referral marketing company who is able to provide gas and electricity. Okay, and we provide the UK's best value gas and electricity, and that was actually written about us in the Telegraph magazine. We do this by providing a triple value guarantee, and that triple value guarantee is very simple. It gives our customers perfect peace of mind that if they stay with us over a period of time, they will always get the best value, because we always guarantee, for example, to be cheaper than British gas. 70% of people use British gas. We always guarantee to be better than the local electricity supplier wherever you are. Now, I don't know what it is over here, but over where we are, it's Scottish Power Manweb, and we guarantee to always be cheaper than that. So, you know, the 70% of people who still use Scottish Power Manweb where we live are guaranteed to save money on it. And for perfect peace of mind, we actually guarantee to be highly competitive with anybody else, any of the other big providers in the market. So that means that we're always down at the bottom at the cheapest. And you know, that's and again with this, there is no minimum contract. Now, our flagship service is Broadcall. Broadcall combines together the benefits of broadband and telephony. And here I'm not talking about VoIP, I'm talking about real telephony, still on a real phone, still with your same number. From as little as $19.99, the benefits you can have with us are up to 8 megabyte broadband. It includes the line rental. So your line rental, if you think about it, if your telephone line is 12 quid, knock that 12 quid off the $19.99 and you realise what a good deal this is. No minimum contract. Unlimited calls, UK calls to any landline, not necessarily anybody on our system, but unlimited calls at weekends. And I'll show you how that gets extended later on. Free connection, free modem, or router. We also do a dial-up and broadband only service, and that's for, you know, dial-up service only. It's for people who live perhaps in the wilds of Wales who can't get broadband, and we have a dial-up service that's about a third the cost of others. And broadband only for circumstances where perhaps somebody works for a company and the company pays their telephone line, but they want to have broadband separately, and they can take that with us as well. And if anybody's interested, I can show you again in our multi-service brochure that our prices are actually cheaper than the free services which are advertised by people like Sky, AOL, Tiscali, or who's the other one? Oh, Carphone Warehouse. So, great value. We also have an online shopping mall called Store Plus. It stocks over 15,000 different lines, white goods, brown goods, gifts, etc. No delivery charges, VAT inclusive. What you see is what you get. Now, the interesting thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is yes, it's good to buy stuff on because you can buy it cheaply on there, and you know, you can go and do your comparison, go and do your research. You'll find you can buy stuff cheaply on here. But as distributors in this business, anytime anybody buys anything off our website, we get paid. And every distributor gets one of these websites, which is tailored to them. So, what other benefits are there? Well, this is a unique benefit because we're the only company on this side of the pond that does this. There's 3 in the world, there's 2 in America, there's 1 here. And that is that we provide all the utilities on a single, heavily discounted monthly bill. So that's all the services. All this for a membership fee, because we run it like Costco Macro, of just £1.76 a month. So for 38 pence a week, you get all these benefits. Now, this is interesting. Remember I said for our broad call service, which counts as 2 services, you get free calls at weekend. If you roll in your gas and electricity as well, it means you get free calls to any UK landline 24/7. That's not just to people who are on our system, free calls to any UK landline. Now for normal subscribers, that's worth about £120 a year. For cable subscribers, that's worth nearly £150 a year. So it's a big, big saving. Now if you're running a business from home, as Beth and I do, that is fantastic because we make all our calls for free. Really valuable. And of course, having just one bill makes life a lot easier. It makes life a lot easier for the domestic customer. And it makes life even easier for the business customer. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But there's one thing which I think it needs to be underlay everything I tell you. And that's a couple of facts which I picked up the week before last when I was listening to the radio and reading the paper. The first fact I came across was that 1 in 3 households actually earn more money, have more income from benefits than they do from anything else. And that's really scary. That means that people are hard up and people want to save money. The second fact that I came across, and this is really frightening because I've been talking for about 12 minutes. In that 12 minutes, debt in this country has gone up by £3 million. Because debt is on the rise in this country at a rate of about £1 million every 4 minutes. Which is really, really scary, given that already we have more debt in this country than the rest of Europe put together. And we're talking in the billions and trillions of pounds. So, how much can you actually save with us? Well, these are statistics which are produced by the Government Comparator Service. But again, we put it in writing, it's in our multi-service brochure, and the average family is going to save with us about £491, so around about £500. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for me, that's a significant amount. That's a significant saving. Last week, my golf club fees arrived, and it was £496. So I know I play my golf for free. For other people, it could be free tax and insurance on their car every year. It could be a free Sky subscription and a free TV license. But I would think, you know, do you agree with me? 491 quid, it's a significant amount of money to most people. And to those people who are actually getting a lot of money from benefits, that's going to be a significant saving for them. And it's going to be a significant tax-free saving because it won't affect their benefits, which is interesting. Now, the services I've shown you there are the services we provide into the domestic market. We also provide the same services into businesses. So, landline calls and line rental, mobile phones and BlackBerry, broadband, non-geographical numbers, 0800 numbers, 0845, 0871, 0870 numbers. You can have those with us on, you know, the non-geographical numbers from just £2 a month. No minimum contract, no setup fee. You can also, I think, was it you who asked about getting them abroad? Yes, you can have the number delivered to any European destination as well.
When I was in Spain, I had an 0871 number.
Yep, you can do that with this. Yep. The interesting thing with this is that, I wondered why we actually did them to European destinations. Then I realised our national marketing directors in this tend to live abroad most of the time. So they can actually run their business from abroad using the 0800 numbers. And just to say that the percentage income that you derive from businesses, you're paid the same percentages as you are in the domestic market. And of course, the great thing about businesses is that businesses spend a whole lot more. And we'll talk a little bit more about the earnings in a little bit. Okay, so how do we work? Well, let me ask you very simply. Has anybody here recommended a good book? Well, I know some of you's recommended it. But I know he does get paid for it. But have any of you recommended a good book to a friend recently?
Yeah.
Yeah? What book was that?
The Island.
The Island. Written by?
Hislop. Can't remember her first name.
Okay.
Ian Hislop's wife.
Well, Ian Hislop's right. Did Ian ring you up and say, thank you for that, I'll pay you a couple of bob for doing that recommendation?
Well, I think he's very ungenerous. He didn't know.
No, it doesn't happen, does it? But can I ask you also, are you an author? So you're not an author, but yet you feel confident about recommending books. Interesting. Has anybody recommended a good restaurant?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you now, I have. I recommended Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in London to several friends of mine. We went down there, they had fantastic meals, and you know, Gordon never even rang me up and told me to fuck off. You know, which I found really, really disappointing. But, okay, let alone actually pay for me. Has anybody, I hasten to add, I'm not a chef, you know, but I felt confident making that recommendation. Has anybody recommended a fantastic film?
The Secret.
The Secret. Fabulous. I've got a copy of that in my bag, right at the back of the room. It's fabulous, isn't it? And I've recommended The Secret to so many people. And you know, I've not received a penny. But it's interesting. We make recommendations to our friends, to our family, all the time, don't we? If you find a place that sells petrol really cheap, what do? You tell all your mates. So the question is, did you get paid for it? The answer is, of course you didn't. So we recommend things every day. So this is things that people are comfortable with doing. Now, in our business, when our members make a call, when they switch on electricity, when they read an email, when they go online shopping, we get paid. Not just once, but we get paid forever, every time they do it. Which is interesting. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about me later on, but just quickly at this point, I'll say, I've been in this business now for 3.5 years. 3.5 years ago, I signed up customers. I still get paid month in, month out on what they spend. Which is interesting. Now, what do we actually deal in? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we deal in the ultimate consumables. Telephone, gas, electricity, internet, these are the ultimate consumables. Now, I know that you're going to be talking about franchising later on. Can anybody tell me what is the top franchise in the UK?
McDonald's.
McDonald's, yes. Can I just ask, has anybody in this room had a McDonald's this week? That's interesting. Okay. Can I ask another question? Who's used a telephone this week? This is audience participation. I need you to put your hand in. Who's used a mobile phone? Sent or received a text? Who's been on the internet? Yeah. Who's used gas or electricity? Yeah. Who's had a wash? Excellent. Okay. So millions of people are using these things all the time. This isn't a business like Amway, or it isn't a business like Clean Easy, or any of these businesses where you have to go and encourage people to buy things. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you and all the people you know use these day in, day out, all the time. And we don't have to train them how to use them either. You know, they pick up a phone, hello, you get paid. They switch on a light, you get paid. And also, it's a recession-proof business. In a recession, people get tight with this, don't they? So they stop going out to restaurants. They stop going out to the cinema. They stop driving their cars. But they don't stop talking to their friends on the phone. They don't stop using the internet at home. They don't switch off the TV. They don't sit with the central heating turned off, and they don't turn off their fridge. So this is a truly recession-proof business. It's there all the time. And I like that. Okay, so if you're looking at a business, you want to know, okay, how big is it? How many people are in this market? You know, is it saturated? Well, There are over 22 million residential homes in Britain. They spend around £8 billion on telephony, £13 billion on gas and electricity, and I think that figure's even bigger now probably. And there's 3.6 million businesses who spend an awful lot more. Okay? Currently, we have about 250,000 customers. So we've got less than 1% of the market. So there's a huge market there to go at. And a bit more audience participation. Who would like just a little bit of that money going into their wallet each day in, day out? Just a little bit, but drip, 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 drip. You know, it starts to add up. It's a bit like your publishing company. You go along, you look at your bank account, and there's money in there. And it grows and it grows. And I'll show you just how much later on. Why is this the ideal business, ladies and gentlemen? It's the ideal business for a number of reasons. First of all, there's no stop to buy or hold. You're welcome to come outside and examine the boot of my Mini out there, and I don't have a shed load of mobile phones in there, even though I am a Scouser. Okay? There's none of our little piggy devices in there. You know, there aren't lots of tins of gas. You know, there's no stop to buy or hold at all. You can work from home. You can work from somebody else's home if you wish. You know, but do tell them about it. You can go and drink their coffee and whatever, but you work there. I often go around and work around at Beth's. She makes great coffee. Thank you very much. There's no staff to employ. Do any of you own your own businesses, by the way? And employ staff? Any of you employ staff? Is it a pain? Is it a pain? Yeah. Nice sunny summer's day, out in the pop. Do they turn up next day? No, they don't. And all the nausea of PAYE and all that sort of stuff, and I hear what you say about don't get involved in that because it is real drama. Money, we don't touch it. Yeah? The company bills the members direct, so there's no filthy lucre, we don't have to deal with it. You're not like the milkman who goes making deliveries every day, and then come the end of the week, you've got to go knock on the door and say, excuse me, can you pay your bill? We don't do any of that, the company does it directly. You can do this full-time, part-time, anytime you choose. Whatever suits you. This is a perfect bolt-on business. It doesn't matter what you do at the moment or what you want to do in the future. You can bolt it on and run it alongside. And I'm tempted to tell you what I do, but I'm just going to wait just that little bit longer, and then you'll see what it's done for me. This is fantastic. This is a willable business. So you build up your income, and I'll show you how that works. And when you actually pass away, as we all do, we all shuffle off this mortal coil, that business does not disappear with you, unlike a pension. You know, if you've got a pension, if you're lucky enough to have a pension, and I get a services pension, which is great, but when I die, that services pension gets halved and goes to my wife, assuming that she survives me. When she dies, it's gone, disappears. With this business, whatever I build my income up to will still be there, and I can pass it on to my children and to my grandchildren. Assuming I do have children, I haven't got grandchildren. I'm not that old, despite what people say. Okay, and for me that's really important because I look on this business that I'm actually developing my family fortune. I do my day job to pay the bills, I do this to build my fortune, and that's what this is all about. And last of all, and perhaps importantly, no experience necessary. Is any of you familiar with the telecoms industry? Know all about broadband? Know about distribution of gas and electricity? Well, the good news is you don't have to know anything about that. But we do give you training absolutely free, and the training is fantastic. I know because I'm a company trainer. And we do the training, again, at 40 different locations around the country on a regular basis. So every couple of weeks you'd find there's a training in your area. There are 3 trainings. Part 1 is getting started, lasts about 5 hours. What that does is it tells you about the company, about the services we provide, how to approach customers, and how to build a team. The second training is then what's called Business Club, which lasts about 4 hours, and it tells you all about our business services and how to take these into the small to medium enterprise market and earn lots of money. And then our third training, which Beth's just been on, is our senior executive training, which when you reach a certain level in the business, the first rung of the ladder in the business, we actually then give training on building your business to become a massive business and to reach marketing director and beyond. You'll understand that. But what this is, ladies and gentlemen, is it's a stress-free way to work because it's a little bolt-on. It's a little thing that you do on the side which will build you an ever-growing and ever-increasing income. Okay, so we've looked so far at being a customer and a little bit about being a distributor. Let's now focus now on the distributor side of it, and I want to focus on the business opportunity. So the utility warehouse, where it also pays to be an authorised distributor. Okay, to register as an authorised distributor, you've got to be in it to win it. Okay. And the good news is that to be in the business, it's just £199.75 deposit. So you pay £199.75 deposit to become a business partner with the top, fastest growing business in Europe. I know it's a stupid fee, I know it seems ridiculous, but that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll see just how good that is later on. Now, I say it's a deposit because, ladies and gentlemen, when you gather your first 12 customers, you get that back. So, is it a high-risk business? I don't think so. Now, of course, we give the usual guarantees. If you join this business and you feel that up to 3 months it's not for you, you can return your stuff, you pay a £50 admin fee and you get the rest back. So you're actually risking in this business 50 quid. And ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest to you 50 quid is less than a good night out. So that's what's at risk. It's not a fresh air fee. You receive a business in a box. You receive everything you need to set up and run your business. So you get a full starter pack, which includes your business manual, which is your reference book for all the business. Free training and support. And you can go back on that training as often as you want, as often as you feel you need to. If you want a bit of a boost, if you want to update yourself on the services, you can keep on going back. All the brochures and forms that you need, and you get trained on how to fill these in on the training. Plus, and I think this is a huge bonus, you actually get 4 fully managed websites. And those websites include the domestic services, where anybody can go onto your website, peruse and sign up for any of the services. If they do, you get paid, exactly as if you'd gone to see them personally. The business website, where business customers can go on and see what's on offer and get in touch with you to come round and see them. The business opportunity. Everything I'm going to talk to you about today is all up there as a business opportunity site. I had 2 people sign up on my site yesterday. They have now joined my business as business partners. And finally, Store Plus, which I mentioned to you. Okay? 4 fully managed websites. There's about, I would guess, several hundred pages of fantastic website there. Now, Jonathan, what's it going to cost for somebody to get that and have it set up and keep it maintained?
Settle, if you're a mega on the cheap, you find somebody who do it for about 20 quid a page. But that'd be mega on the cheap. So
and that's and to maintain it, keep it all up to date, keep all the products up to date.
That sort of size of site, again, if it was mega on the cheap and you weren't too bothered about how reliable the company was, you'd be paying about 40 quid a month.
Okay. Now, I would suggest when you see the quality of this site and what's on it,
well, it'd be a lot more.
You're going to be paying 10, 15 grand to actually have set up and run that website. Everybody who joins the business gets their own personalised website. So, what are the distributor benefits? So we're getting to the interesting stuff now. First of all, immediate income. The more services your club members take, the more bonuses you get. And I'm going to explain this in detail to you in a minute. Extra bonuses when your team grows. This is a very ethical business. You do not get paid for bringing somebody into the business. But you do get paid a bonus by the company when you help that person to achieve success in the business. And I like that, and I'm very comfortable with that. And it uses the principle of a rising tide raises all ships. So my business grows by me helping Beth. The same. Her business grows by her helping the people who she introduces to the business. And I help and work with them also. And so it goes on. Achievement bonuses worth up to £38,000. These are time-sensitive bonuses for your progression through the business, and I'll explain those in detail to you. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the real money spinner. This is where the real money comes from. Up to 6.3 monthly ongoing residual income paid upon all the members that you introduce to the business. Now, traditionally, and this is something I'm sure you're all here because you want to get out of this and you don't want to be part of this, this is what we teach kids at school. That you leave school and you start on the earnings ladder. You maybe now leave school and earn, I don't know, £10,000, £12,000 in a conventional job. You shuffle your way up the greasy pole and it tends to plateau out. You know, when you get to about 30, 35, you might, if you're lucky, get an income boost at the end when you get to the top of the ladder. And then comes the day, whenever that is, it used to be 55, 65, 70, 75, it keeps on going up, where you actually retire and you get a pension. And you suddenly discover that you are now earning only a third of what you couldn't afford to live on before. And that's the prospect that we hold out for most people these days. And even people who get gold-plated pensions. I've got a very good friend. He was the HR director for Rothmans International. He had complete responsibility for the whole of their Far East area. Whilst he was with Rothmans, he was also responsible for their sports sponsorship. So you can go into his house, he's got pictures of him with Graham Hill, because, you know, cigarettes and racing go together. All the racing drivers lived a fantastic life. Retired 50 years ago on a gold-plated pension, which was able to keep him in the lifestyle that he got used to as being one of the top directors in Rothmans. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 years later, that guy is having to work at B&Q in weekends to make ends meet. Why? Because his pension has been eroded consistently. And what do we see every day? You read this in the papers every day, the pension time bomb. The government has a great idea, a cunning plan. You know, Gordon Brown is the baldric to Tony Blair's Blackadder. And their cunning plan is work till you drop. Keep on working till you die. There's no pension problems then, is there? And ladies and gentlemen, is that what you want to be part of? For me, I know it isn't. Sorry, I keep banging the mic. Okay. Jonathan, you talked about time. And time is something which is valuable. Time is something that once you lose it, you cannot get it back. Okay? This business gives you the ability to gain time. How? By building a team to maximise your income. Now with this business, if you run it alongside what you're doing, you might not have a lot of time to spend on it. Okay? You might just have, like in our example here, maybe 5 hours to spend. So you go away, you work away at the business, and as you're working away, you know, 5 hours will give you money on your activity. While you're working away, you come across other people who would also like to make some money. You'll find people who want to save money, you'll find people who want to make money as well. So you introduce them into the business, and maybe they can only do 5 hours each. But now you've got 20 hours going into your business. 20 hours worth of customers joining the business. And of course, those people who joined your business, they know people that you don't know. So your business grows. And if they only do exactly what you've done, and you're not restricted to just 3, okay, you then find you've got 65 hours going into your business. Now, 20 hours is going to earn you more money because there's more customers coming into the business. And as you'll see, you get paid on all the customers who come into the business. 65 hours, you get paid an awful lot more. And do we have a mathematician in the audience who could tell me what the next level is? Well, the simple answer is lots. And it means there's lots more hours going to the business, and therefore there's lots more money that you're earning. Okay, so your business grows. Okay? You introduce people to the business, you introduce customers, you introduce distributors into the business. They know people who you don't know. And so it goes on, and so it grows. Now, people ask me, what's the catch? The catch is very simply this. First of all, you've got to be over 18, and secondly, we don't let miserable gits join the business. Okay? We only let happy, smiley people join the business, because happy, smiley people are successful. And I only like working with happy, smiley people. You know, I've had a lifetime of working with miserable gits, and I don't want that anymore. So, great business this, because happy, smiley people. Okay, so how does it work? Well, your customers, you sign up a customer, the customer gets provisioned with the service, they use the service, they get billed for it, they pay their bill, you get paid in retrospect a percentage of what their spend is. You also get paid for actually signing up the customers, and I'm going to go to that in detail after this slide. But ladies and gentlemen, it never stops going up. I could take you and talk to any distributor in this business, absolutely cold, and you could ask them how much has their money gone up. And I can tell you now that the average is between 10 and 12% per month for people who are established in the business. When you first start the business, you'll find it actually goes up massively. Sometimes 25, 30, 40, 70% per month when you first join. But bear in mind, you know, 100% of £1.19 is not a lot of money. But if it continues growing, and that's the important thing, that's the key to this business. Now, I'm just giving you little snippets of me, but it's useful for me to say at this stage, the year before last, in August, I was incredibly ill. I had a thing called pancreatitis. And a lot of people die of pancreatitis, I discovered. I never felt at any time I was going to die. Other people did, apparently, but I didn't. I was off work for 4 months. Now, my day job, they very kindly put me on statutory sick pay, which is about 2 3/4 halfpenny a day. Yeah? Doesn't pay any of the bills. My utility warehouse business continued to pay me, even though I never gathered a customer or distributor for 4 months. My income went up by 10% per month, carried on paying my mortgage, carried on paying the bills, and, ladies and gentlemen, I got promoted to group director at the same time. So it really, really rammed home to me in a huge way the benefits of this business. So, right, now this is the interesting bit. So for those of you who've been waiting, take good notes here, because this is how the money works. Okay. To start off with then, to join the business, it's a one-off fee of £199.75, and as I've mentioned, that is a refundable deposit. Get 12 customers, so if you know 12 people who'd like to save money, that's your money back, so that's your risk paid for. Right, the first form of income then is what we call customer gathering bonus. Okay? Now, customer gathering bonus is a bonus you're paid for introducing customers to the company, so for bringing customers to the table. And you get paid on each service that they take. So, if they take the home phone service, it's £5. A mobile phone, £10. A BlackBerry, £10. Broad call or broadband, £10. Broad call plus, £15. Energy, £5. A free phone, £5. So the average, because people tend to take, 4 services because they get the benefit from it, that's going to earn you £20 for half an hour's work. Okay? And that half an hour is spent travelling to the customer, showing them the service, filling in a 1-page form with some details, about a yard of ink, taking that form, posting it off to the company. You get paid for that. Okay? You're paid that every month for all the customers you've signed up in that month. So that's an upfront bonus. So that's a start off. You'll then receive, once the customer pays their bill, and their bill monthly, 2.4 up to 6.3% of whatever their spend is. Okay? It's 2.4 on energy and 6.3 on telephony services. Obviously the energy bills are much bigger, so you get a bigger percentage on that. Now, I'm going to suggest that in doing this illustration for you, I'm going to suggest that the average customer spends around about £100 per month on all their utilities, so on their mobile phone, their gas, electricity, their telephone, their internet. Now, a lot of people say to me, no, they spend much more than that. Fine. Are you all comfortable with £100 a month spend? Makes the sums nice and easy. Okay, so if a customer is spending £100 a month and we take that percentage, that's going to mean you're going to earn somewhere between £2.40 and £6.30 per month for each customer that you sign up. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this is not what it's going to give you. But what it will give you is a get-wealthy over a period of time scheme. And your time frame for this business needs to be something between a 2 and 10-year plan, depending upon how badly you want to become wealthy and what your particular goals and drivers are for you in the business. So I'm going to take this over a two-year period and show you what you would be earning over 2 years. Now, we suggest on the training that one of the key things in the business is to be regular about what you're doing. It's like eating music, it keeps you regular, therefore it keeps you healthy. So regularly in this business, we suggest that you sign up a customer a week. Okay? Now, what's that? Maybe 2 hours work, maybe 1 hour's work? It depends. If you sign up a customer a week, after 2 years, you're going to have how many customers? You'd have 104, but we give you 2 weeks off each year for good behaviour. Okay, so you have 100 customers. Right. If you've signed up 100 customers, you will have earned from the customer gathering bonus £2,000 to £2,500 in customer gathering bonus. You will also earn between £240 and £630 per month, every month, residual income. So that just keeps coming in. You visit the customer once, you sign the customer up for the services, that's it. You then go on getting paid. I have a friend in this business who was in this business from the day it started. His name's Steve Critchlow. Steve is still getting paid on customers he signed up 10 years ago. So if you took an average there, you would say that 5% is the average. So you sign up 100 customers, that's going to earn you around about £500 a month. We're talking about multi-service customers here, and that's key. £500 a month, you don't even have to get out of bed for it. Now, would that benefit you, ladies and gentlemen? Yes? No? Okay, it doesn't stop there. Let's suppose you join this business. You come on the training, you're assisted by your sponsor, they show you how to go out and gather customers, you go out and gather 20 customers. Whilst you're gathering customers and with your friends, you probably know other people who would think, wait, hang on a minute, I can do this. This is real easy. I would like to earn some more money. So you introduce some other people into the business. So, Joe, Ann and Jane. And you help them to do what you've done. So you introduce them to the business, you put them on the training, you help them build and develop their business, you help them to get their customers. And they get their money back. 12 customers, get your money back. So join the business, get 12 customers, get your money back. Between you, in that sort of structure, where you've got a total of 50 customers between you, 51 known as group customers. Do that in 6 months, achieve that in 6 months, and on top of everything else, you will have received about £800 in bonuses. Do it in 60 days, and ladies and gentlemen, it's perfectly possible to do that. It's not easy, it's not a pushover. You do that in 60 days, and you become what used to be known as a company maniac. And that will earn you over £1,000 in bonuses. It also gets you lunch on our express day with Charles Wiggoner, our CEO, which is a bit like having lunch with Richard Branson and me. Okay, so that's another form of income. Now, let's go back to our 2-year plan. Because I've already pointed out that you get paid on your personal customers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you also get paid on all the volume of customers in your group. Okay? So, after a year, you've got your 100 customers. Okay? Joe, Anne and Jane have done exactly what you've done. We used to have a phrase in the army. I spent 17 years in the army. You get my life story in bits here. We used to have a phrase in the army, great phrase. I was an army trainer. We used to say, monkey see, monkey do. Yeah? You all recognise that? I show you how to do it, you copy me, you do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what this business is all about. So they've gone out and they've gathered 100 customers each, just like you. Now, Joe, Anne and Jane, funnily enough, they know people who you don't know. And funnily enough, they also know people who'd like to earn some more money. Now, it's a fundamental question, isn't it? Do people like to earn money? Yeah? So, do people like to earn some extra money? Well, a lot of people say they don't, but they're lying. They just don't want to admit it. A lot of people say they do. So, Joanne and Jane have gone out, and each of those finds some more. And again, it's not limited to 3, but in this case, just for the illustration, it's 3. And they copy exactly the same thing, so they've got 900 customers. So between you all, you've got 1,300 customers in your group. Now, this is the cracking bit. You get paid 0.6 up to 0.8% on all those customer spend. Have you come across John Paul Getty? Do you recognise the name?
Yeah.
John Paul Getty has a thing, Principle of Wealth, that he said that he would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of his own efforts. And my goodness me, that is true in this business. Because I can either go out and do it all myself, okay, very good, because I get a large percentage, but I would have to spend all my time building up my income. Or I can introduce other people into the business who'd like to make money themselves, and at the same time, that earns me a little bit of money. But you can see how this business grows. So, what was that going to earn you? Well, 0.8% of £100 is 80 pence. So 1,300 times 80 pence is £1,040 per month. Residual income every month. Plus what you've earned from your personal customers. And that's residual income. Now, just take that a little step further, okay, and take it to this sort of structure, where you've not signed up 3, but you've signed up 5. And those 5 sign up 5. You know, in 2 years, you're going to have this sort of thing. 3,100 customers. And again, you get paid the same percentage. So what that's going to give you, I'll let you do the sums yourself. 3,000 times 80 pence is, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of money. So, apart from the paycheck, which is the key bit, the company is actually really good at giving incentives as well. There's a couple of incentives here. If you go out in the car park, you'll find one of these. It's a yellow Mini with pink pigs on it. It's absolutely fantastic. You cannot lose it in a supermarket car park. Yeah, you can always find your car. Okay? It's my car. The company give it to me. It's free. Okay? I get to a certain level in the business. I do a certain level of activity each month. I still get all the pay for that activity, just as you've seen, but I also get the car as well. And it's great. It's all logoed up with my website. It's got my 0800 number on it. I drive it round and people ring me up and say, saw your car, I'm interested, can you tell me about the business? Saw your car, saw the savings, can you come and save me money? Oh, forgot about that one. Does anybody here like fast cars?
Yeah.
Does it push everybody's button?
Just a bit, yeah.
Okay. Porsche Boxster. Every time you get multiples of 200 personal customers, the company give you a Porsche Boxster for a month. Here's the keys, the insurance is paid, you just put the petrol in and pay the points. Every time you hit the multiples of 200 personal customers, you get that for a month or 6 weeks. Company's got 11 and a half. The half one got trashed recently. But who cares? Okay, other benefits. And the company's big on benefits. Every customer you sign up, in fact, every customer you sign up now, you get 2 of these. These are piggy bombs, they're scratch cards. And you can win from £10 to £5,000 instantly. Plus, you can go into a draw for a European holiday, for a holiday over in the Caribbean, or for a Mini. You get those when you sign up customers. So if you sign up 5 customers in a month, you'll get 10 of those. Now, if you don't win anything on those, on our Express Day, they all go into a big hat and there's £20,000 up for grabs. Not bad, eh? That's just another little bonus. Gather 500 customers in any time frame whatsoever and you join the exclusive 500 Plus Club. The 500 Plus Club, every year you get a limousine down to London, you stay in the Ritz or equivalent, you get taken to a West End show and you have dinner in the Ivy restaurant or equivalent for you and your partner. Absolutely free. Which is nice. We're big on recognition. We have our annual convention every year, which is up in Telford. The Telford International Cattle Shed, you've probably been there.
Yes, indeed.
And lots of people get rewards for things that they've done during the year. Lots of pats on the back. The company's big on that because Charles likes to reward people for what they're doing, not just financially, but he likes them to know what it's like to be successful. Share options. Whilst you're working with the company, every 2 years they have a share option scheme. And whatever you've done throughout the year earns you points, and at the end of that year they add up the points and they give you free share options in the company. I've got 1,000 share options in the company for some work I did in the first year when I joined. They're free, they're gifted to me. After 3 years I can choose to exercise those share options, so I can either buy them at the price they were given me, or I can cash them in, or I can do that any time up to 10 years. This, every year they do a promotion. The promotion for last year was a luxury holiday. Now this is a trip on the 6-star liner, the Silver Whisper. It has on board 190 suites. That's all, 190 suites. It has 2 Michelin 2-star restaurants on board. Okay? In May this year, me and my wife will be on that boat, and all we had to do throughout the year was gather a customer a week for a year. Okay? 3 nights, 5 days, we'll be flying from Liverpool down to Nice. Get on the boat at Nice, then we're going to Monte Carlo, we're going off to Rome, and then we're going to Calvi, and then back. Absolutely free. And the great thing about this boat, I gather, I've not been on it before, but some of my friends have. Whatever you drink, right? You just go on and say, right, you know, I like Martell, XO, brandy or whatever, or champagne or whatever. That goes in your fridge every night. If you only have a single glass out of it, the next day it's replenished. Not topped up, but a brand new bottle of that. You cannot pay for anything on the boat at all. It is all provided for. And that's just a pat on the back because you've already been paid for everything. You've already had piggy bonds which could win you a lot, but that's just an extra bonus. Now, you know all about psychology, yeah?
Mhm.
You know, in your business, it's important. If you want somebody to like something that's really sweet, if you get them to taste it, what do they want?
More of it.
They want more of it. That's what Charles does in this business. He gives you the taste of the good life. He gives you the taste of the good life. So, normally in our presentation, what we do is, at this point, we actually ask people to stand up and just tell other people in the room what they do, where they're from, and why they joined the business. Now, we can only do it with two of us in here, but let me just tell you a little bit about this stairway to success. First of all, I want to make the point that everybody who joins the business is an independent distributor. So nobody works for anybody else. We all represent the company. So Beth and I are business partners. I've been in this business a little bit longer than her. So my responsibility to her is to help her to build her business. Okay? She does not work for me. I don't work for Jimmy Chapman, who's my mentor in this business, or for Steve Critchley, who's right at the top of the tree. But Steve regularly works with me to help me build my business. Everybody joins to level playing field, doesn't matter who you are. Whether you're a company director, whether you're an airline pilot, doesn't matter where you come from. Whether if you're somebody that milks cows, and I know people in all that category who join this business. You join on the level playing field, you join as an executive. You build your business, you gather some customers and distributors, and you become a senior executive, which is the first rung on the ladder. There's a £250 bonus on that. Okay? Beth's now a senior executive. So Beth, would you like to just mention your...
Just very briefly, I'll come to the front because if
Okay, please do.
Alright, I've been doing this for 15 months. When I joined, I was ill. And at that point, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to go out to work properly, regular 9-to-5 job. So what prompted me to take this on was the attraction that I could work in when I was able to. So that meant that for a few weeks I wouldn't be able to do anything, and then perhaps for a couple of weeks I would be able to go out and spend a few hours each week when I was fit enough to do so to start building my business. Initially, what I wanted out of it was the social aspect. It had nothing at all to do with money. I got to meet some fantastic people who've become the best friends that I have in my life because of the amount of support that you get, and because they're like-minded people. They share the same sort of mindset as me. I want to be successful. They're outgoing, happy people, and I want to spend my time with them and not, as Tony said before, I don't want to be with a load of miserable kids. So socially, I get a huge amount out of it. Now, focusing more on the money side of it, what I hope to achieve in the near future is a substantial enough monthly income to allow my daughter, who's currently 12 years old, but when she is of the age to go to university, I will be able to put her through uni without any worry about debts. I'll be able to pay for all of her fees, and she can leave uni, well-educated and not a poverty-stricken teenager. Once that goal is out of the way, my ultimate goal of all is for time freedom. The main passion that I have in my life is writing. I spend a lot of time writing psychic novels, and what I will get out of this business from just putting in a few hours of work each week now, I'm estimating from the growth of my business to date, by the time I've spent approximately 5 years in the business, I will have freed up enough time in my life to then sit back and spend as much time as I like writing. And that's what I want to get out of it. That's what I will get out of it.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, thanks Beth. Next one on the ladder, executive director. That just means you've just been in the business a little bit longer, you've gathered more customers, and you've built a slightly bigger team. That carries a £500 bonus. The next level up then is group director. Okay, and that's where I am at the moment. I've been in the business for 3.5 years. That carries a £2,000 bonus. Let me just tell you a little bit about me. Okay? I live in North Shropshire. I live in a little village next to Beth. I'm a retired army officer. I did 17 years in the army. I retired as a major. I now work as a consultant software engineer. I work as a hired gun. I've done that. I ran my own business for a period of time after I left the army, which was great, but I didn't earn a whole lot of money. I had a lot of fun with my friends. We didn't earn a whole lot of money. And I then, my third son came along, Joe, and Joe has Down syndrome. So I decided that I needed to refocus, so I went and started working as an IT contractor. Now, being in the IT industry up in North Shropshire, there are no contracts up in that part of the world, unfortunately. So it consequently means that I have to work away from home. So as Joe's grown up for the last 10 years, I've been working away from home all the time. And as he's got bigger, he misses me more and more, and I miss him. So I set myself the goal that I'm going to fire Bill Gates. I'm going to stop working away from home. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you now, in November I went on to 3 days a week, and I've got 3 more days to do at Coventry, and Bill's getting the big E. Okay? I will no longer have to work as a software engineer on contract, so it means that when Joe goes off to school in the morning, I can make his breakfast, see him off. When he comes home from school in the evening, I can be there to welcome him home and spend time with him. When he's on holiday, I can be on holiday. And that for me is the thing that drives me in this business. Now, I've had lots of other things as well out of this business. I've had all the bonuses. I've become a company trainer. They pay me to do that as well, which is very nice. I've got the Mini outside there. I'm going on the cruise this year. And I think most of all, like Beth, what I've got out of this business is the people that I've met and become friends with. One of the great things about being in the army, and any of you that have been in the forces, I don't know whether any of you have, but you have a camaraderie there. You work with people, it's a people business. In the software world, you sit in front of a computer. Most of the people who sit next to me are very much younger than me. They sit there with their headphones in. We don't talk. We share very little in common. With this business, I now mix regularly every day with people who I really like, who I get on with fantastically. We share common goals. We have a fantastic time. Oh, the other goal which I achieved recently, which was worth telling you about, 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to own and drive a BMW X5. And I set my goal, as you all know, if you just have a dream, a thing's a dream unless you set a date on it. So I set myself the date of February this year of owning and driving a BMW X5. Well, I'm happy to say I picked it up in December. So this business does work, and it gives you things, and it gives you the things that you want. Now, whether those are material things or family things or whatever, you can achieve them. So what could this extra income mean to you? Well, it could be any of these things. It could be the university fees, private healthcare. It could be the after-school fees. It could be leisure time, whatever. What could it really mean to you? Well, it could be that holiday that you promised yourself or your family that you've never got round to having. It could be the extension on the house. It could be spending more time with your family in a big cage. It could be the ability just simply to shop where you want to shop, rather than where your income allows you to shop. It could be that you would really like to be able to give money to your chosen charity, but because you don't have enough to be able to share, so you're not able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of charities actually join this business as distributors because it allows them to build up an income that they can rely on as charities, and charities join for free. Or it could be wandering the beaches of the world, taking pictures of old people embracing. Or it could be, the residual income. These are my friends in the business. This is Jimmy Chapman. He was a policeman and a bricklayer. He's been in the business now for 5 years. He's retired from the police. He's 38. He's on an income which is equivalent of having £1 million in the bank and living off the interest. There's no way he would have been able to do that in the job that he was in. Like he said the other day, he said, I'm on a bigger income than the assistant chief constable of the Met. He doesn't have to get out of pension now. This is Susan Mackenzie. She wanted to go guilt-free shopping. 8 years ago, she asked her husband for 50 quid. He wants to know why. She said, never mind. 2 years ago, he came home, and that car was parked on the drive. He thought she had guests. Went around the house. Sue, who's the car on the drive? It's mine. How do you get that? It's mine. So she was able to do that. This is Dennis and Cindy Hammond from Manchester. Dennis ran a menswear shop, did very well out of it. When the recession came along, he lost the shop, he lost everything. He finished up over £300,000 in debt. Dennis now earns a six-figure income from this business. He's been doing it for 8 years. Cindy worked for W.H. Smith. She liked to have her own independence. She worked for 32 years for W.H. Smith. She rose right up, and was quite high up in the company. She recently took retirement. The pension that she gets a year from W.H. Smith is less than she receives each month from the utility warehouse. This is Rob Barras and his family. Lived down in Bournemouth. Rob joined this business and did nothing for 5 years. So, then 3 years ago, he suddenly realised what this business could give him. At that time, he didn't own his own house. He worked as a car valeter. He now owns the car valeting business and franchises it out. He owns his own house and he owns his own boat. Ladies and gentlemen, these are people who actually work this business and work it successfully. It could mean the amazing lifestyle. These are two of our national marketing directors. This is Clive and Diana Leach. Clive Leach used to be a wet fish salesman. As he used to say, if you've got any stock left on a Friday, you've got a real problem. They live up in Sale in Manchester. They used to drive to their little 3-bedroom house every day past this house, which was owned by a footballer called Eric Cantona. And Diana said, Clive, I want to own that house. You know, power of positive thinking. You've heard about The Secret, the power of positive thinking. They took a picture of that house, they now own it. This is Steve Critchley. Steve is my mentor, my great friend. He's the first person who joined the utility warehouse, and he had the vision to see where it could take him. 10 years down the line, Steve earns from this business £1 a minute. So when he goes off and has an afternoon nap for an hour, he wakes up £60 better off, 24/7. That guy earns over £500,000 a year, and he doesn't have to get out of bed for it. His goal by this time next year is to be on £1 million a year, residual income. Okay, so it's your choice. You can own your own home, you can shop where you want, you can eat where you please, you can travel the world when you want to. You can enjoy time freedom, and I know that's one of the big themes of what you've been here today for. You can be completely free of money worries. It's your choice. So, it's in moments of destiny, moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So, it's your choice. If you have been listening, which I'm sure you have, I thank you. And if you'd like to get started, speak to Beth, speak to me, and I'll show you